Duchess of White Castle, the Duchess of Scamelot, Meghan Markle, is back with season 2 of her Netflix show, With Love, Meghan. Now, is it really season 2, or is it a bunch of repurposed footage from season 1 with a couple of reshoots thrown in?
Meghan Markle had circled January 15th on her calendar for months. This was supposed to be her victory lap, her comeback moment, the day Netflix would flood the zone with marketing for season 2 of With Love, Meghan. But at exactly 9 a.m. Pacific, Taylor Swift dropped a cultural atomic bomb that obliterated everything in its path.
X is calling it season 1B because we've all heard this is not new footage. They had a bunch of leftover stuff from season 1. Netflix isn't too happy with Meghan Markle. The Hollywood Reporter, all of these industry rags are saying she's pretty much been let go from Netflix. They have a
Within 6 hours, Swift's announcement had 167 million views. Meghan's carefully orchestrated comeback, buried under an avalanche of Swiftie excitement, the Duchess of Sussex wasn't just overshadowed. She was erased from the conversation entirely. Behind closed doors in Montecito, sources say Meghan's reaction was volcanic.
They get that first right of refusal if they want to do a new project, but Netflix isn't too enamored with them. I did hear, before we get to breaking down the trailer, I did hear that Meghan Markle is going to be doing a Christmas special for Netflix, and I'm here.
This wasn't supposed to happen to a duchess, especially not one who'd spent months engineering the perfect media moment. The planning had been meticulous. Meghan's team had analyzed entertainment calendars, studied release patterns, identified the quietest week in January's media landscape. They'd coordinated with Netflix's publicity machine, lined up friendly journalists, prepared social media campaigns. Every detail calibrated for maximum impact.
Just traipsing around her mansion in jean booty shorts with her scrawny legs. That's not really who I'm interested in hearing from for Christmas, but maybe around the holidays she can actually spend time with her kids. That'd be great because we never see Archie or Lilibet. It would be nice for her, I think, to actually spend time with her kids over the holidays.
The strategy was simple but ambitious. Drop season 2 when nobody else was competing for attention. Dominate the news cycle for at least 72 hours. Reset the narrative after months of negative press about failed Spotify deals and Hollywood rejections. This wasn't just about launching a cooking show. This was about reclaiming relevance. Netflix had invested marketing dollars. Press releases were distributed. The algorithm was primed. Everything was ready for Meghan Markle to own January 15th. Then Taylor Swift entered the chat.
Approaches, but Meghan Markle, not someone I really want to hear from. Christmas is also about spending time with family, and Meghan Markle is not someone with a great track record when it comes to her family. In fact, she uninvited that niece. Remember that niece? I believe her name was Ashley.
The timing was surgical in its precision. At the exact moment Meghan's show went live on Netflix, Swift unveiled the life of a showgirl. Not through a press release, not through traditional media, through a spectacular digital event that turned the internet into her personal amphitheater. The announcement wasn't just successful, it shattered every entertainment record for digital engagement.
Niece that she uninvited from her big wedding in 2018. She doesn't really talk to her father. She doesn't talk to Samantha Markle. Okay, fine. But Meghan Markle, the holidays are about family. Where's the family? Where's the family? She had family. The only one standing left is Doria. Doria's gonna cling to them.
167 million views in 24 hours. Those aren't just numbers. They represent a complete monopolization of global attention. Every entertainment outlet pivoted. Every trending topic shifted. Every algorithm bowed to the Swift tsunami. Publications that had planned Meghan Markle. Features scrapped them mid-production. Morning shows bumped Sussex segments for Swift coverage. Social media managers deleted scheduled posts about With Love Meghan to chase the Swift traffic.
Prince Harry, he didn't treat his family very well. He didn't treat them well. He says he can't even go back to the UK because he doesn't feel safe. That's who Prince Harry is. He has a public rift with his father. He fights with his brother. He writes about it in a book. After Prince William allegedly says, please don't talk about our personal.
The contrast was devastating. While Swift's announcement generated millions of reactions per hour, Meghan's Netflix return barely registered. One source inside Netflix described it as watching a small boat get swallowed by an aircraft carrier's wake. But the numbers only tell part of the story. The real damage was happening in private meetings and group chats across Hollywood.
Oh, that very cringe interview Meghan Markle did where she said the power of yet. Let's roll that clip.
I don't know what I'm doing. Yet. My business hasn't gotten traction. Yet. No one's picked up my book proposal.
According to multiple sources, Meghan's immediate reaction was denial. This had to be coincidence, a scheduling accident. Bad luck. But as the hours passed and Swift's dominance became absolute, denial transformed into rage. She reportedly called emergency meetings with her team. The atmosphere, one insider said, was Arctic. Meghan was convinced this wasn't random. In her mind, Swift's team had deliberately targeted her release date.
These insufferable liberal women sitting around a mansion going, the power of yet, the power of yet. We have to have good vibes and namaste, the power of yet.
She kept saying it was a wrecking ball, the source revealed, that someone had leaked her date to Swift's people. Whether paranoid or prescient, Meghan's fury was real. She allegedly demanded her team investigate how Swift could have known. She wanted emails pulled, conversations reviewed, connections traced. The possibility that Swift simply hadn't considered Meghan's schedule at all seemed impossible for the Duchess to accept. The celebrity world's reaction made everything worse. A-listers who'd been silent about Meghan's return rushed to celebrate Swift. Selena Gomez, Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, all posting and reposting Swift content. The same Hollywood that had gradually frozen out the Sussexes was now actively celebrating their competition. For someone who measures worth in social media engagement and celebrity endorsements, the silence was damning. Then came the memes. Internet culture can be cruel, but its cruelty often contains truth. Split screens appeared showing Swift commanding stadiums while Meghan stirred soup. Captions read, "Main character versus background extra." The hashtag #MeghanGotSwifted began trending. TikTokers created compilations showing the view count difference in real time. One viral video simply showed a graph of Google searches, Swift's line shooting skyward while Meghan's flatlined. Even Netflix seemed to abandon ship. Sources inside the streaming giant suggest marketing resources were quietly redirected. Promotional posts were scaled back. The algorithm push that should have sustained Meghan's show for weeks was reduced to days. The company that had paid the Sussexes a reported $100 million was now treating their content like an afterthought. But here's what Meghan couldn't see through her fury. Even without Swift's interference, Season 2 was already in trouble. The reviews had started trickling in before Swift's announcement, and they were brutal. Critics called it lifestyle porn without the lifestyle. Viewers described feeling manipulated, watching what one reviewer termed a 30-minute commercial for Meghan Markle, starring Meghan Markle, directed by Meghan Markle's ego. The show's attempt at relatability felt forced. Every spontaneous moment seemed rehearsed. Every laugh appeared calculated. Social media comments were even harsher. "She's not sharing recipes, she's sharing herself," became a recurring joke. The production quality was high, but viewers felt the authenticity was manufactured. One particularly cutting review noted, "This isn't a cooking show. It's a therapy session Meghan forgot to make interesting." The comparison to Swift wasn't just about numbers. It was about authenticity. Swift's announcement felt like an event. Meghan's show felt like an advertisement. Swift was giving fans what they wanted. Meghan was telling viewers what they should want. The entertainment industry noticed the difference. Behind the scenes at Netflix, executives were having difficult conversations. The Sussex deal, once seen as a prestige acquisition, was becoming a liability. Viewership for their previous content had consistently underperformed. The Harry and Meghan documentary had initial curiosity views, but no staying power. Other projects had been quietly shelved. Now, with Season 2 failing to break through despite significant marketing investment, questions were being asked about return on investment. One Netflix insider put it bluntly, "We paid for Hollywood royalty. We got Instagram influencers with titles." The $100 million deal wasn't officially dead, but it was, in industry parlance, deprioritized. Future projects would face higher scrutiny. Marketing support would depend on performance. The red carpet had been pulled back, replaced with standard industry metrics. For Prince Harry, watching from the sidelines, this represented something deeper than professional disappointment. Sources say he appeared increasingly uncomfortable with the entertainment industry hustle. The man who'd once focused on veterans and mental health was now part of a machine that measured success in views and trending topics. Each public failure added weight to a question he couldn't escape. Was this freedom worth the price? The Swift incident became a breaking point, not because of the competition itself, but because of what it revealed. In the ecosystem of modern celebrity, the Sussexes weren't apex predators. They were struggling to find their place in a food chain that didn't care about titles or royal connections. Meghan's reaction to being overshadowed showed someone who'd fundamentally misunderstood her position in the culture. Hollywood insiders began sharing stories that had been whispered for months. Meghan's need for control had alienated potential collaborators. Her insistence on approval for every shot, Every edit, every post had made her toxic to work with. The very qualities that might have served her as a royal were destroying her as an entertainer. She wanted to be both producer and product, creator and content, author and story. The industry had a word for that: unmarketable. The numbers tell the story. Netflix executives don't want public. Season 2's viewership dropped 60% from episode 1 to episode 2. By episode 3, the show had fallen out of Netflix's top 50. The completion rate, the percentage of viewers who finished what they started, was among the lowest for any Netflix original in the lifestyle category. These weren't just bad numbers. They were catastrophic for a show with this much investment. But the real measurement wasn't in Netflix metrics. It was in cultural relevance. Taylor Swift's announcement generated more Google searches in 1 hour than Meghan's show did in its entire first week. Swift's reveal spawned thousands of reaction videos, analysis pieces, and fan theories. Meghan's show generated complaints about privileged people pretending to be relatable. The conversation wasn't about what Meghan was cooking. It was about why anyone should care. 6 months later, the full impact becomes clear. With Love, Meghan hasn't been officially canceled, but no third season has been announced. Netflix's upcoming slate doesn't feature any Sussex productions. The $100 million deal exists in name only, a contract running out its term with no meaningful output. Industry publications have stopped covering Meghan's projects as entertainment news, shifting them to the celebrity gossip vertical. The Swift incident has become Hollywood shorthand for delusional ambition. To be Swifted means to overestimate your cultural importance and be reminded of reality. Talent agents use it as a cautionary tale. PR firms study it as a case of how not to handle competition. Meghan Markle wanted to own January 15th. Instead, she became a footnote in Taylor Swift's story. The Duchess, who left the royal family for creative freedom, discovered that freedom includes the freedom to fail. Without the palace machinery, without the built-in significance of royalty, she was just another content creator fighting for attention in an oversaturated market. The Netflix show wasn't just overshadowed by Swift. It was exposed as empty calories in a world hungry for authentic connection. Prince Harry's recent solo appearances suggest a man reconsidering his choices. He attends events without Meghan. He focuses on causes that predated their Hollywood adventure. Sources say he's exploring options that don't involve entertainment industry productions. The man who gave up everything for love might be discovering that love doesn't pay the bills or restore reputation. For Meghan, the future remains unclear. Talk of political ambitions surfaces periodically. Rumors of a memoir circulate, various pivots and reinventions are floated by her remaining allies. But each new direction feels more desperate than the last. The woman who wanted to modernize the monarchy couldn't even modernize her Netflix show. The influencer who left Instagram for royalty is back to counting likes and views. The entertainment industry has moved on. Taylor Swift continues breaking records. Netflix invests in other partnerships. The news cycle that Meghan tried so hard to dominate barely mentions her name. The Duchess, who thought she deserved the spotlight, learned that in Hollywood, you don't inherit attention. You earn it, frame by frame, view by view. And when someone like Taylor Swift shows up, you either compete or get swept away. The question isn't whether Meghan Markle can recover from being overshadowed. It's whether she understands why it happened. Was it really about Taylor Swift's timing? Or was it about a show that viewers simply didn't want to watch? In an industry built on brutal honesty, the answer is clear. Swift didn't steal Meghan's moment. Meghan never had a moment to steal. The $100 million Netflix deal, the carefully orchestrated comeback, the dreams of Hollywood dominance, all of it collapsed not because of external sabotage, but because of a fundamental miscalculation. Meghan Markle believed her story was enough, that being a duchess who left the palace was inherently fascinating, that her personal brand could sustain endless content. But modern audiences are sophisticated. They can smell inauthenticity through the highest production values. They recognize self-promotion disguised as entertainment. They know when they're being sold something versus being given something. Taylor Swift gave her fans a gift. Meghan asked her viewers for attention. The market responded accordingly. So here's the question that haunts this entire saga. What would have happened if Meghan had focused on serving her audience instead of serving herself? What if the show had been about teaching actual skills instead of showcasing a lifestyle? What if she'd understood that in entertainment, the audience is the monarch, not the person with the title? We'll never know. Because Meghan Markle made the classic mistake of believing her own publicity. She thought she was the main character in everyone else's story. Taylor Swift's success wasn't personal. It was just proof that in the attention economy, you're only as valuable as your last performance. And Meghan's last performance? It was a show about cooking that left viewers with nothing but a bad taste.